Hi, good morning, everybody. Late mid-morning. This is something I wrote. I have it pressed a long time ago. Universally defined and conceived point, the conceptual definition of which is absolute centrality, not only of the foundation of the geometric, but also physical and or spiritual reality of being, the substantive and also the mood orientational nature of the universal flux, one of whose conceptual understanding decides the emotional context of this phenomenal color. This is by us conceived as the first dimension, and the four lines of measure that extend outward from the absolute point and lock into the four section points marks to ourselves anyway, that to define into a surface without width or breadth the spherical colored disk that is the second dimension, ever in the process of turning around the first dimension central point conceived by us through sphericized conduition into the four directions represented if only through metaphorical assembly. The width and breadth of the second dimension is the elasticizing or exhaling inhalatures that bring the second dimension into the dimension of space but not yet of time. Time, therefore, brings to spatially still matter in varied motions of varied forms, sets the planets in motion around the universally by us central point, spin at various speeds depending on the spherical bulk of weight sitting on the space-time net in rotation around the axis and orbit around the sun's central sun, whose prototype thing in itself is the highest defined point, where all reality and illusion harmonize in microcosmic as one in weight relative to gravity's indecisive meeting place of outer space and atmosphere, each of which may perhaps bring to birth age and bring to birth anew, which is the sound that opens space, that opens time, the sixth dimension opening the fifth is the ladder of the eye into the past, present, and future. The sleeping point of the first dimension is also waking to look back. It's not turning. Okay. A geometry of emotional and lessons of the road ahead. No, that's not the title. I am now continuing where I previously left off to further construct a geometry particular to the light of day streaming through a narrowly open and low-shaded window at eye level with the person standing before a mirror throwing back through a short distance he is keeping from it his own reflected face, the principal play of intersecting forces combining light from the outside world, pressuring by the narrowing of the window through time passage and dwelling down into the higher point position of the window, say to the left of the reflected face, as in a humid and hot summer's day might draw into lesser spatial width, exchanging streams of the invisibility of the light necessary to the ears drawing downward of gravity, and also the compression through first architecture, second glass, and then third narrowed compression created by the unity of the three defines a new dimensional relation, that of the compressed exchanging of light and water, a variable nature of the steam process. I press on. There is then the second adjacent process of this geometric, which continues the report when a particular person enters the room, the streaming of light narrowing through the window clash of the sun with the reflection distance from the mirror, and the showing of the same person each time in a different personal light. A geometry that, through the interaction of these combined processes, creates a different ontology of the person and their surrounding world. A geometry of ontology of each time recreating mission into a new frontier central to the search nature of its science and geometry, besides the measure of the interplay of elements, is perhaps the greatest essential to the painter, the photographer, and the cinematographer, and of course the human eye. Oh. Let's see. Okay. If I go here. And down again. Okay, so. Oh, wait, I see now. Okay. Try and get this to turn the pages. Okay, there it is. There's 2. There's 3. That's the one I just read. Now let's see. Alright, so this is a poem. I've been to the roadside farm. Across tavern kept tables they wrestled arms, swung the mallet to the conny bell and word. Indeed, both his eye brought the fritter clams with a deep grilled fry. Her father kept the home, the 2 deckers high, fell from the faith and the untelling sky. Above those valleys over the summits rise, that I learned you are wise. Down circling roads to clay rich with gold, distant ships are returning slow. Humidity burned my tear-stained face as yesterday's warriors gave not a trace of footsteps in sand to tomorrow's waiting hand. Memory kept no drum anymore, in sync with time, the motions bend. And these valleys old summits rise, and you learn I am wise to this something. Let's see what the next one is. And there's other stuff I'll read. I think I might have already read it before. So. Send that.